more people voted early than they voted on election day. There weren't lines at 6 o'clock on election night like there were last election. So all in all, it went pretty well.
And then the special audit, the votes were all perfect, my understanding, is that right?
It's a while to get there. They were perfect after counting the ballots 4 times.
Yeah, that's
The auditors
the hand to eye
Yeah.
proved out that we
The
didn't have any
auditors didn't
mistake.
pull out all the ballots.
I think we're
They
working
should
now,
have
Judge.
the 3,000.
Okay.
There was only 384 ballots cast in that race, but they didn't pull them off. They didn't segregate that race from the other 2,500. But they got there.
Yeah, at KCO last week, I was in an animal control training session, and Judge Stritton from Anderson County, he was really bragging on how well they did, and I wondered how well we did. So we were right behind them. All right, well, good deal.
Maintenance we just sent off today too, and we get $2,925 for putting on the election.
The elections are a lot of work, and they're expensive to put on, and a lot of that comes out of our general budget, so. All right, Julie, we're working, you're up.
Alright. So I'm gonna start with, these are all first readings, we have no second readings tonight. So the first one I have is the application of Mark Barnett, requesting Ag 1 agricultural to Ag 2 agricultural on 5.3301 acres located at 4455 Taylorsville Road. Commissioner Wheatley made a motion to recommend to rezone the application of Mark Barnett, requesting zone change from R1 Ag 1 agricultural to Ag 2 agricultural on 5.3301 acres located at 4455 Taylorsville Road. The recommended land use map in the comprehensive plan recommends medium density residential use. The change would be in compliance with the comprehensive plan, and there was no one there to speak against it. That motion was seconded by Commissioner Deaton. After roll call vote, motion carried. Just real quick to explain, the original application was made was Ag 1 to Ag 2, but in working with the zoning maps and his property, I found that part of his property was R1. So that's why in that meeting, the motion came as R1 Ag 1 to Ag 2. Okay. Next, we have the application of Goodlet Holdings LLC and Jewel Farms LLC requesting Ag 1 agricultural to Ag 2 agricultural on 2 separate tracts. Tract 2A consisting of 5.014 acres, Tract 2B consisting of 5.037 acres, and this is located on the corner of Hickory Ridge and Patton Lane. Commissioner Osborne made a motion to recommend to rezone the application of Goodlet Holding LLC and Jules Farm LLC, requesting zone change from Ag 1 agricultural to Ag 2 agricultural on 2 separate tracts of land. Tract 2A, 5.014 acres, and Tract 2B, 5.037 acres, located on the corner of Hickory Ridge and Patton Lane. The recommended land use map in the comprehensive plan recommends medium density residential use. The change would be in compliance with the comprehensive plan, and there was no one there to speak against it. Commissioner Travis seconded that motion. After a roll call vote, the motion carried. All good on those.
I was looking, First Baptist Church has property right beside it.
Yes. They have, it's like their picnic grounds up there. They've got a pavilion and they
Oh,
do
okay.
picnics
Mhm.
up there.
Okay.
Yep.
Or Jewel Farms Center Farm.
All right.
Okay. Next, we have proposed ordinance number 6, fiscal year 2024-25 series, repealing the existing definition of agricultural uses and creating a new definition for agricultural uses per KRS 100.111, and adding definitions for alcohol, brewery, craft distillery, microbrewery, small farm winery, tasting room, and winery to Article 1, Section 102 of the Taylorsville, Spencer County zoning regulations to become effective on the date of final adoption. Commissioner Mudd made a motion to recommend to repeal Article 1, Section 102.2 of the zoning regulations pertaining to the definitions for agricultural uses. Commissioner Osborne seconded that motion. Motion carried. Then Commissioner Deaton made a motion to recommend amending Article 1, Section 102 of the zoning regulations, creating a new subsection 2 definition for agricultural uses per KRS 100.111, and adding definitions for alcohol, brewery, craft distillery, microbrewery, small farm winery, tasting room, and winery. Commissioner Fowl seconded that motion. Motion carried. So that's just getting our definitions in line with what KRS says, Ag 1 zoning is, or I mean agricultural zoning is, and then adding a few. Next, we have proposed ordinance number 7, fiscal year 2024-25 series, amending Article 3, Section 300.3M of the Taylorsville Spencer County zoning regulations regarding conditional uses allowed in the Ag 1 agricultural zone pertaining to microbrewery to become effective on the date of the final adoption. Commissioner Osborne made a motion to recommend amending Article 3, Section 300.3 of the zoning regulations regarding conditional uses allowed in the Ag 1 agricultural zone, creating subsection M pertaining to microbreweries. Commissioner Fowl seconded that motion. After roll call vote, motion carried.
Do you have the same page numbers we do, Judy?
65 is what she's doing.
I don't have page numbers.
Okay.
I got my
So
originals.
the first one that you read was page 55, right?
I don't know what was your first one.
That was ordinance number 6. That was the
6.
first one you
7
read.
was on page 64. That's the one she just read.
Okay.
And 6 is repealing and then adding definitions.
Okay.
7 is
7 is 65.
microbreweries.
All right, 64 and 5 is the second one you read, ordinance 7. Okay.
We're on 8, it starts on 69.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Proposed ordinance number 8, fiscal year 2024-25, series amending Article 3, Section 300.3N of the Taylorsville Spencer County zoning regulations regarding conditional uses allowed in an Ag 1 agricultural zone pertaining to small farm winery to become effective on the date of final adoption. Commissioner Travis made the motion to recommend amending Article 3, Section 300.3 of the zoning regulations regarding conditional uses allowed in the Ag 1 agricultural zone, creating subsection N pertaining to small farm wineries. Commissioner Wheatley seconded that motion. Motion carried.
Hey, I know y'all been obviously extremely busy, but have y'all ever touched on the containers for Ag 1 or?
We have.
You have? Is that something you'll have for us
It's
sometime?
sometime
Is it
sooner than later.
Before the new year,
Christmas.
Yeah,
pushing it?
probably, yeah, probably
Are
for.
we getting shipment in or something, both y'all?
I didn't say what I did, trying to get one, but it just clicked in my head and didn't think of it. I know y'all are plenty busy, but.
You did a motor mouth, you know, if you think about it, just goes down.
Oh,
Well, then, when we get past all this, things will get somewhat back to normal.
Right.
So,
I hope,
It'd be like y'all's job gets easier.
fingers crossed.
no, we're not gonna let it get totally easy. Yeah, we've got lots of things that we'll address
zoning.
this
I'm gonna have purple
winter.
tunnel. Okay. Proposed ordinance number 9, fiscal year 2024-25 series, amending Article 6, Section 601.3D of the Taylorsville Spencer County zoning regulations regarding conditional uses allowed in the B1 neighborhood commercial zone pertaining to craft distillery Class B only to become effective on the date of final adoption. Commissioner Fowl made a motion to recommend amending Article 6, Section 601.3 of the zoning regulations regarding conditional uses allowed in a B1 neighborhood commercial district zone, creating subsection D pertaining to craft distillery Class B only. That motion was seconded by Commissioner Mudd. Motion carried. Okay. Proposed ordinance number 10, fiscal year 2024-25 series, amending Article 6, Section 601.3E of the Taylorsville Spencer County zoning regulations regarding conditional uses allowed in a B1 neighborhood commercial zone pertaining to microbrewery to become effective on the date of final adoption. Commissioner Wheatley made a motion to recommend amending Article 6, Section 601.3 of the zoning regulations regarding conditional uses allowed in a B1 neighborhood commercial district zone, creating subsection E pertaining to microbrewery. Commissioner Osborne seconded that motion. Motion carried. Proposed ordinance number 11, fiscal year 2024-25, series amending Article 6, Section 602.3B of the Taylorsville, Spencer County zoning regulations regarding conditional uses allowed in a B2 general commercial district zone pertaining to craft distillery Class B only, to become effective on the date of final adoption. Commissioner Hunt made a motion to recommend amending Article 6, Section 602.3 of the zoning regulations regarding conditional uses allowed in the B2 general commercial district zone, creating subsection D pertaining to craft distillery Class B only. Commissioner Mudd seconded that motion. Motion carried. Next, we have proposed ordinance number 12, fiscal year 2024-25 series, amending Article 6, Section 602.3E of the Taylorsville, Spencer County zoning regulations regarding conditional uses allowed in a B2 general commercial district zone pertaining to microbrewery to become effective on date of final adoption. Commissioner Mudd made a motion to recommend amending Article 6, Section 602.3 of the zoning regulations regarding conditional uses allowed in the B2 general commercial district zone, creating subsection E pertaining to microbreweries. Commissioner Osborne seconded that motion. Motion carried. Next, I propose ordinance number 13, fiscal year 2024-25 series, amending Article 6, Section 603.3C of the Taylorsville, Spencer County zoning regulations regarding conditional uses allowed in the B3 heavy commercial district zone pertaining to craft distillery Class B only to become effective on the date of final adoption. Commissioner Wheatley made a motion to recommend amending Article 6, Section 603.3 of the zoning regulations regarding conditional uses allowed in the B3 heavy commercial district zone, creating subsection C pertaining to craft distillery Class B only. Commissioner Fowl seconded that motion. Motion carried. Next, I have proposed ordinance number 14, fiscal year 2024-25 series, amending Article 6, Section 603.3B of the Taylorsville, Spencer County zoning regulations regarding conditional uses allowed in a B3 heavy commercial district zone pertaining to microbrewery to become effective on the date of final adoption. Commissioner Fowl made the motion to recommend amending Article 6, Section 603.4 of, that's not right. There's a typo. It's 603.3, not 4. I don't know if they said it wrong in the motion or if Angie's got her fingers on one piece. That's okay, we'll fix it. So we're amending Article 6, Section 603.3 of the zoning regulations regarding conditional uses allowed in a B3 heavy commercial district zone, creating subsection D pertaining to microbreweries. Commissioner Wheatley seconded that motion. After roll call vote, motion carried. And last one. Proposed ordinance number 15, fiscal year 2024-25 series, amending the Taylorsville, Spencer County zoning regulations, establishing in Article 16, Section 1600 to provide regulations to govern the location and placement of medicinal cannabis operations to become effective on the date of adoption. Commissioner Fowl made a motion to recommend amending the zoning regulations to establish Article 16, Section 1600 to provide regulations that govern the location and placement of medicinal cannabis operations in Spencer County and the city of Taylorsville. Commissioner Wheatley seconded that motion. After a roll call vote, motion carried. I will note on that one too, I got a little happy when I was typing, and so I started out calling it medicinal cannabis, and then before I got to the end, it changed to medical cannabis. So I want to go back and state, I want all of them to say medicinal. So I'll add the IN at the end, all of it.
I wasn't aware, but I learned today at North Central District, I was asking Deputy Judge John Park in Shelby County, and, it was on their ballot if they were gonna accept them or not, and they all passed. And the chair of the North Central District said that all of them in the state, to her knowledge, passed. And most of them passed kind of 2-1. So, you know, we opted in, and other counties that put them on the ballot, they're all in also. So what that means is that Jefferson County is going to get 2 dispensaries, and then 6 other counties, including us, will be chosen by lottery to get 4. And I think the growers had a lottery, and some of those got picked already.
I think everything but dispensaries have already been done.
Picked, yeah.
I looked at that the other day, and most all of them are already.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have any, right? Do we have growers? No growers either? Okay.
But it was my understanding.
Legal.
So, yeah,
Legal.
I thought about this before, but it's.
Can't Drew, got any growers out there?
It costs a lot of money. I saw a fella on television that, what, 15, 20,000?
No, more than that. For everything, get your operations.
But,
Just to apply was unbelievable,
Yeah.
and that was whether you didn't know if you were gonna get it or get knocked down.
Right.
It was unbelievable the amount of money that they took in for applications. I've got that number over here.
I think it was over 100 something applied for 14 or 20 or something licenses. I mean, it was really,
They gave us a graph at the training,
yeah.
that day, and I've got it, you know,
Okay.
the graph that showed how much was spent on applications for each type of thing, and then overall, how many they took in. It was unbelievable. But they also are the ones that suggested that we get this taken care of before the end of the year. Whether we get chosen or not, at least that way we've got something in place. And they may not be perfect, I pretty much put those together from pulling from other counties that had already gotten theirs put together. So most of it's just statute definitions and things, but at least we've got something in place, you know, in case we get to it.
They may be expanding it in the future.
Well, and that's what they said, get something on the books, and we can always amend them. But it was just important that we get something on the books, so.
All right.
Okay.
Well, Julie, I thank you for all that extra reading and work.
Okay.
Uh,
I will say, the notices for second reading had to be in the paper for the next meeting. I had to send those in on last Thursday to get them to hit the paper right. So I didn't advertise all the ordinances for second reading because we had talked about maybe a special meeting to
Right.
handle that. So I didn't know when you want to try to
Yeah, well, we'll,
set that date or.
so as of right now, the second reading is not our next meeting, correct?
Right.
Now, it could, no, it can't be because now the advertising deadline is missed.
Right, yeah.
So we will have a second reading, kind of want to catch you guys,
In December, maybe,
Yeah, or second December meeting.
the second night meeting. Or we could have a special call meeting and not go all night, you know, if need be. But everyone has these,
There's
have these
15.
in your possession right now, so we can read through. And I think a lot of the similarities, I haven't read through all these yet, but it just scoping film and setting here, it looked like there's a lot of language that's similar to the 2 that we already did. Possibly ones that maybe you'd want to strike or add. So hopefully we can get through it in as much time as we spend on the other 2
I
possibly.
don't think it'd take near, I went through the whole thing and went through it, and only had 2 questions, and I stopped and talked to Julie today about that, and she saw that, so it's pretty cut and dry. I don't think we'll have to spend a whole lot of time on it. I think we
Wording
need
and
to
all of it
second
is
meeting.
very similar, so.
Yeah, to the others.
And a lot of these are state statutes that really, they have to
maybe
be.
that's what he.
If,
Well, and you'll see, like you said, if it's B1, B2, B3, microbrewery, it's the same thing in all 3. But they have to be different ordinances because they're different zoning bylaws. Or the craft distillery, class B, B1, B2, B3, they should be the same. It's just different zoning classes.
my wife and I went Saturday. She went to Midway and went through shops and stuff, you know, I love being with her, but I'm not a shopper that way, but it's all right. But we went to, we went to a distillery there in Franklin County on the way back. And I challenge you all, if you have an opportunity, to visit the distillery. I went just to learn
Challenge yourself.
a lot of stuff that we had went through. And this particular one, was not in a great big building. And they're hoping to do 800 to 1,200 barrels. And a barrel has 53 gallons. So this facility was not that big. I mean, any of us have hung in a tobacco barn. If you got a 7-bit barn, that's way more than enough to be a Class A distillery that we didn't approve language for. We just approved for the Class Bs. So someone has asked the question, well, why didn't y'all do the A? And we may down the road, but I prefer us to do the B and to show the community that it can be an asset. And I would like us to prove that it's an asset and, you know, then go from there. But I challenge you to check it out. And they have a storage facility, and it's probably 50 by 100. And what they have in there is 5 years old, and that they sell to others. I guess any of us could probably go over and purchase, and they would bottle it for you in your bottles. Everything they sell at this particular place leaves there in a bottle, and none of it goes to a retail store. They have a buyer. But they had just a big building with a concrete floor. They had the barrels with a metal rack, and then you put a stack of barrels on top of these barrels. And the racks, I believe, would touch to where the weight is not on just the barrels, it's on the racks. And they're up to the ceiling on these racks. And they have it's kind of up on a hill, and below it is a dike area that's probably waist deep that catches all the rainwater. Of course, it's got it's cut off, so you could catch if, there were a fire or something. And I'm not sure what, and this particular building was way smaller than 20,000 feet. So, that could be a Franklin County rule, or it could be a state rule, I'm not sure. But they have 120 acres, they have cattle there, and that they take in corn and wheat and rye, and they produce it. And I mean, they said they have about 500 visitors on a typical Saturday, and they charge $35 a person to have a little tour, a little walking tour. So we paid $70. But it was very educational. It was interesting. And Ms. Scott, I see in the future possibly that we could have some of that in Taylorsville and Spencer County, bring in some more revenue and keep everyone else's that's here now taxes lower.
Did all this business expense?
No, I didn't. I'm glad you brought that up. They don't use propane or electric to heat their water. They got a wood stove out, and they heat it in an outdoor wood stove. Quite interesting.
What do they use to cook their liquor?
They use the hot water
Oh, really?
and creates the heat that they need. No propane.
No, it's radiant.
Yeah, and they don't use electric to heat water. So, but we'll see. But it was very educational, and I challenge everybody to go look at some. All right. Anything else for Julie? All right. Thank you very much. We have on page 102, 103, 4, and 106 some meetings, minutes from the sanitation district. They have been very busy. I'll kind of defer to Corey. Do you have anything to add to any of that?
Not really. I know that they approved an additional draw for a generator and control panel for one of the pumps. That was last Tuesday. Focus primarily has been on making sure that everything is not only up and running, but improved as necessary, for current operations as they look forward to the, new plans and further development of it, so.
Yeah,
I know there was some action taken, but we can, have that included on the agenda for next meeting.
Yeah.
A little bit more detail for everybody.
Yeah, they have made some repairs on, see, there's the plant, and over here, there's a pump station. About 80 homes gravity to this station. The other homes gravity to the plant. And then new construction that's coming on has a pump station also. So these two pump stations have to have electricity in case there's power failure. So that's kind of what he was talking about in the future. Now, the plant already has a stationary generator. And there was some I&I, as they call, which that's water getting in with your sewer, and then you have to treat a bunch of water that's unnecessarily treated. They were doing some work on that, the bigger original pump station to get that cut out, and I saw some pictures where they had sealed that up. So work is being done. I know they have closed on the property right beside. And then the road department is going to help and keep their irons and all separate, putting a culvert in to save some money versus getting hired to get to this. When you go in, you got to go down and cross a little branch to get to this pump station. So if you were to have a 2 or 3 inch rain, you cannot get to that pump station, which is why we're putting in a larger culvert.
Yeah, and at the same time, according to the Division of Water guidelines, you have to have 24-hour access to it, so that's not a culvert's necessary when there is rain, that road is never,
Yep.
be able to get through there.
So,
Good work done over there, as long as everybody's been towing their stuff away.
and we did have one of our tractors was parked on the right of way, and a neighbor had it towed. Thank you to Louisville, and but they brought the tractor back, and we had it checked over, and we have it back in our possession now. So that never go a moment. So any other questions or comments on sanitation? All right, and appreciate Corey putting in some a lot of extra day working with the sanitation district. We've got a challenge, and we're trying to meet the challenge head on. In old business, on page 108, and I'm really excited about this. We can replace all this equipment in here, and we can get the camera down in Kipta. They have something similar, and for about $7,000, we can get, and if you look on the next page, it's got what some stuff costs. We can put it in ourselves, and Lynn, you'll love it. I'm excited about this. I really think you'll like this. This new equipment is searchable. Instead of watching 3 hours, you can, my understanding, you can type in the word motion, and every motion made, it'll tell you exactly when it was made. So the video would be searchable with this new equipment. And then all our video equipment would be up to date instead of what we have. So,
Motion to approve.
all right, motion by Jim, seconded by Zach, to approve the getting a new recording equipment here for a cost of up to $7,000.
I got a question.
Yes.
Is that gonna also get rid of all these wireless microphones? Because my thing is I wanna get rid of all this wireless crap, because I wanna get rid of all this, rid of that popping,
Static, yes.
static and all that, and you don't really need it. You gotta bring this out.
It's gonna be rally mics, pods, with cords on.
Is that what those rally microphones are?
Yeah.
You only get 2 of them?
Still each bar, they won't have the meat, bar holes or whatever, you go up here and catch them right too.
And another good part that I haven't added to this is, and Robert's here, the LEPC committee, that's Local Emergency Planning Committee. They have a budget, and that money can only be used for that committee to have meetings. And at the last meeting, we voted to get great big TVs in here so they're easier to see. We may meet again and change that request to where we can put some of that money towards this project to save some money. I mean, these TVs work, but as I get older, they're harder for me to see, but I'd a whole lot rather have new equipment than worry about the TVs myself.
There's gonna be I've talked to Connie that oversees the LAPC stuff for the state. There's gonna be a limit that they're gonna,
Yeah,
that they'll throw red flags with them, that they'll be comfortable with.
Yeah.
Saying, okay.
but there's a chance, of course, we have a motion to go ahead and pay for it, but there's a chance we could get some reimbursement, basically.
So, since we have our meetings in this room twice a year, we're able to spend money on this
Facility.
facility.
What is my house then?
So, any other questions on getting this? All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. We'll get that, all right. Now we have surplus property. I think Zach has done some work on this, so I'll just turn it over to you. Suki.
Well, it's pretty much cut and dry, what you see on the list there.
Page 112.
Yeah, 112, that's all from the road department. The only thing really to add to that would be that the metal guardrail post is 215 of those. I have to count on the time of it, but now we can put it in. So it's all the Jules option already, going online. Brittany's got this stuff listed and advertised. So.
Is all this stuff already at Jules? All right, I called Todd today, and I said, all right, Todd, I read that list off. He said that they have an old tire changer, he thought.
They got some older stuff up there, but some of that crap is just, I told them it's off the scrap pile. It ain't worth our time taking it up there to get $5 for it, so.
And I asked him about any of this equipment. His preference is he thinks we should keep that 3-point hitch rear mower. So.
Well, I talked to, we're keeping, right now with us getting rid of this mower, we're keeping the mounting mower, that we took off right now, and got one of these batwing mowers hooked up to it. I don't see what we need to keep all this around for myself. And that mower there causes a lot of problems. That's the one we had to do most of the welding on and most of the issues on. So.
Of course, that's when it's on the Kubota tractor. If we had it on a bigger tractor, the mower's in good shape, right?
No, it's not.
The mower's not?
No,
Okay.
It's pretty junky.
Okay.
And every tractor you put it on, we ain't got no bigger tractor to put it on.
Well, if
It
we,
breaks the tractors.
but if we chose to get a 1086 or a 4440 or something down the road, we'd probably work on it.
The mower, the way that thing's made, it's got an arm that comes out, it's all counterbalanced off, it's got a big arm that comes out, it's made real cheesy. And we fixed it 7 or 8 times since we've been off. It's a pretty major fix.
Okay. All right.
And it just ain't made, but we got the rail mower and we still got the side mount mower. We get rid of it, we got the 2 big new bush hogs too, so.
I need a motion to approve these.
I got a
Yeah,
question.
well, hang on. Go ahead, Steve.
The two diamond sideboard decks, one new, one used, why are we selling a new
We
one?
don't have diamond mowers.
I mean, how do we end up with a,
We used to have diamond mowers. We had the John Deere tractors and all that, and they just never did get rid of them, and now everybody's taking up space.
this is just one that they never used?
Yeah, they never used it.
Yeah, I've seen them, and like when we had stuff broke, there's no more parts to take off of these. It doesn't match anything we're using.
Well, the deck, it's just a deck. There's no blade, there's no pump, there's no hose, it's just a deck.
And what about the metal guardrail pump? Will they use those up there?
Mhm. We pay that one company to come out and put in posts and do the whole thing. All it is just stuff they took out, and they pull out a road.
Well, it's used stuff?
It's not all used.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nothing new. It was just stuff that's laying there in their way. Sure. There you go.
Motion to surplus the items on this list of equipment, on Zach, JCB backhoe, Land Pride 3-point hitch side mower, black salt spreader V-box, 2 diamond side mower decks, 1 new, 1 used, 3-point grader blade, green gas powered air compressor, yellow gas air compressor, sandblaster hub jack, and metal guardrail posts.
Second.
All right, have a motion by Mike, second by Dan, to surplus the equipment that was read, and we will have to put an ad in the newspaper.
She's gonna put it in the morning, then a run from tomorrow morning, or whenever it gets in, but just run to the fourth,
Yeah, the sale is December 7th. Yeah, so we'll have to get it in right away.
I got a question. That salt spreader, I know was junk, but
Yeah.
don't we need to get replaced, don't we need to replace that?
so. It goes on a single axle dump truck. It's a great big,
What, well, are some of them up there broke at the road department right now?
Okay, I don't know if I've told you this, Zach.
Yeah.
After we talked a couple weeks ago, and I talked to Todd that day, and the repairs of the ones we've got was about $500-600 a unit. It wasn't 1,100 a unit. So I told him to go on and get the iron in and
So we're gonna fix them.
go fix them, and they'll be fine, yeah. So,
this is something that they bought whenever they had the big, they still had the distraction of single axle dump trucks and it's good enough to go on. So, maybe out there, either way.
I remember that they were broke or something. I thought we was getting rid of a broke one.
So we got a bunch of stress crack,
Yeah.
brothers and stuff up there that we're fixing and getting fixed, so that's no big deal, it's all right side of things.
yeah. All right, so we have a motion and a second to surplus this list of equipment. Any other discussion? All right, while we're here, do we want to have a minimum on the backhoe? Do we want to, how do we want to protect any of our equipment? This is going to be a pretty good sale.
The backhoe, I mean, if y'all want to put a reserve on the backhoe, that's fine, the rest of the stuff, I just, whatever, bring it, bring.
Yeah, the backhoe will be the only thing, but it ain't gonna bring no big money.
No,
You know.
I mean,
All right,
I don't know,
What's it worth? To you? I mean,
nothing to me.
I mean, if we feel a lot of back users.
I think it would bring broad range $6,000 to $12,000.
That's what I kind of think too.
Six being the low side.
What's
I think it
wrong?
brings
What's wrong?
$12,000.
there's
Nothing wrong with it, you just can't
one
get
of the
parts
biggest
for it.
things.
So it's operating okay now?
It's operating okay, but just that we had an issue with it about 4 months ago. We had a little valve body issue. We got a guy from Jacoby, the retired guy, to come out there and basically piece it together and put some parts for it to get it functional. Now it'll work, but it's a little glitchy when it's working on the back end of it. It's a little stiff, because you want to work this exactly right. I mean, it makes for a good farm backhoe, but
This, well, of everything on this list, of course, we have a motion on the floor. We, in my opinion, we still need to own a backhoe. I would hate to get rid of this one before we have another backhoe lined out. The reason I say we need a backhoe is because, about anybody, not everybody, but about anybody can drive the backhoe. And you can follow them with one vehicle. You can send 2 people out to do clean culverts, do a job. Whereas with the excavator, you have to have more people. And you have to haul it and deliver it.
Well, you
What's
put 2
that?
guys in a trailer with a traco.
that's it.
Okay.
You got fall, that was the only problem. Like, you get a storm cleanup, you can run it down the road, but,
Yeah.
the thing everyone needs to think of is what you're saying is if we get $12,000 for this, which I think would be lucky, it's gonna cost $65,000 to
Right.
replace it. If you use one that ain't more slick out, or more,
So,
60 to 80.
but we have, and we can reconsider it if, we need, I guess I probably should have discussed this one and that together. But we do have a motion on the floor. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and discuss it while we're at it.
Okay.
Because we're in a discussion, so about the backhoe, go ahead, Zach, page 113.
Well, so, I told y'all I'd get some prices put together I don't know, along the way, maybe it's my fault, but anyway, I thought we'd just, ask for prices, we've got to go through our
Bidding process.
procurement process or whatever, but anyway, so that's what that is on 113, but in the meantime, I have been in contact with a few of them, and John Gray, which is with Cat, he's simply probably the best quote that we've gotten so far. I've got opinions on that.
Do we have quotes?
No,
No,
because we gotta go through procurement.
yeah, we haven't bid it out just yet. This is a sample bid.
What is this for? I mean, what is it?
A backhoe.
This is for a backhoe?
Yeah, another backhoe.
What I told him to work me up, and I meant to get this to you all day, and it didn't happen, but what I told him to work me up was just like a rental agreement for right now. If we decide we wanna, you know, we go through the procurement process and use this machine and procure the process with some other ones, but in the meantime, we can rent this one, and if we decide we want this one, we can buy this one. If we don't want to, it's in the back. If it has issues, whatever, but with buying this machine, it has warranty under it, has powertrain hydraulic warranty under it for up to 5,000 hours. It's this machine is 2021 model, by the way, too. And it's spec'd up to weight to go to top of one with a 4-in-1 bucket and a hydraulic drum on the back. It's an IT machine, which means you can drop the front bucket off, put a set of forks on it if you need to. It's a pretty nice machine. But
And it is 4-wheel drive.
it is 4-wheel drive, you know. So that's, like I said, that's up to you all, how y'all want to move with that, but that would give us some time.
If that thing costs 80, there ain't no price on, you need to tell everyone.
Well, I can't, because we look at.
It's a sample.
Sealed good.
This is a sample though.
Not if we use this machine, not if we want to buy this machine.
Well,
That's what I think it's gonna cost.
but basically there are options. Now, Doug and I will tell you that we don't have
No
money
money
in the budget
to buy one, that's
to
why
buy used machines.
that's why I was looking at this rental agreement, to try to get by with something, so we can go on and get rid of the JCB, we can rent something.
Well, assuming you're still gonna talk to like Kay.
I'm gonna talk
Other
to
dealers, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's back, and I'm not looking at new backhoes, looking at used backhoes. That's why I started with that, is one thing, they're still out their rental fleet right now, they have their own rental fleet, it's serviced by them, through them, OEM parts, everything's flushed through, all cat fluid, I mean, it's, you know, done right. Looking at some of the other used machines on some of these other lots, you know, they're owned by individuals and quarries and wherever, and they trade in, that sort of thing. So that's kind of why I went where I went at first.
Well, there's another thing too, what we need to do is, like, there's a case and a cat up there.
And there's some backhoes up for sale too.
Has a lot of hours on it. which
But if we
is-
buy them under procurement, then we ain't gotta worry about it.
Yeah, under 30. Because there's a case up there that's a pretty, 40, that's what I meant, pretty nice machine, which I haven't looked at as far as buying it, but
Well, now, like what Zach presented, and I was quizzing Todd about this too, that when he mentioned you could rent it, there's a possibility that every dollar that you rent could go to the purchase. Can or can't? You couldn't do that because of the procurement.
Well, that plus pieces of equipment, essentially.
But that's what I thought it was.
So we can't lease equipment?
You can lease, but if you're leasing to own, to get around $40,000 threshold for procurement, then it's essentially just piecemeal.
well, what about if we advertise that maybe we wanted to do rent to own? Can we do that then? Because like a lot of big equipment companies, they do that. If you like it, you
We
can
can
buy it.
advertise it that way,
I
yes.
think that's how you phrase your bid, or
Yes.
request for bids.
Yeah, it'll work if we phrase our request that way.
Right.
So we could do that.
Yes,
The key thing is the total price being 40,000 or more.
yes.
Bid it out.
And I mean,
Well,
what
let
one,
me ask this too, because I don't see that backhoe hardly ever get used, so if we got rid of the backhoe, I mean, the only time it's gonna get used is some sort of big storm, why can't we call up a company and say, drop us off a backhoe? Just like when we rent any other piece of equipment. I mean, there's so many places here, I understand when something bad happens, a lot of stuff goes out, but you will be able to rent something.
That's
in the
kind of
case
what I
of
was
an
getting at,
emergency.
Will. We don't use it enough to, I don't think we use it enough to worry about jumping right on it, gotta replace it right now.
Well, we don't have to jump, I wanna get rid of this, the headache that we got,
Yes.
or it costs us money. That's the only thing I'm really worried about.
Yeah.
But we ain't gotta jump on buying nothing right now. But I will say this, I say if we get them a backhoe, a decent backhoe to use, right now, that thing doesn't get used because they're scared of it. They're scared to take it out here and try to do something with it, and it's gonna blow up. So the only time they really use it is when they have to use it.
I agree with you, that's something nice, and like with that MP, like, set of forks for it too, you hit a button, the bucket comes off with forks. That's a multi-purpose bucket.
Oh.
It's a 4-in-1
The
bucket.
hydraulic front coupler, come off just like a bobcat, so forth.
Well, and
Maybe
then,
use it more, but
what alarms me, and I done a little, which the city has, had up here this time. So I did a little inquiry about it and, just getting some opinions on it, but when you buy at an auction, you don't know what kind of warranty you get.
you don't get them.
You get an auction guarantee. So, but if we did bid it and went through a dealer, you know, we could probably get a 2,000 hour or less machine.
Well, this machine
with a
right
warranty.
here that I've got right there, looking at, is a 5,000 hour warranty you can buy. And we can choose to, with buying with them, we can choose to cancel that and do like a 2 or 3 year extended warranty for $10,000 on this machine.
Yeah. Okay. And that's included in the price?
No, not this price.
Okay. But I mean, there are things for us to look at.
Warranty machine out to get one. For us buying something new, especially with the depth dimensions, all that kind of crap, I mean, you know, Willis bought new skid steer not too long ago, how many times it's been back to the dealer? I mean, it's,
3 times.
it needs to.
So you gotta be a little guy like me, get that one just under that.
You gotta be, it's under death right now, but anyway. I just, this newer stuff, we're gonna be, you know, I just need to buy something for warranty with it.
Well, what if we just said, just move forward the motion that we got on the table, and then maybe let's come back to the table with
Well, I mean, you all-
procurement ideas for rent to own.
Surplus and the old backhoe, are
Yes.
y'all good for getting rid of it?
That's what I'm saying, we could move forward with
Well,
that.
what I was wondering is if we go on ahead, if y'all go for us, just go on ahead and put it out just to see what the prices come back with that. Another rent to own, putting it out for bid, just to get prices.
Yeah, but I think,
gotta take action.
I think the main question is, we wanna put it out for procurement bid for rent to own, not
Yes.
purchase, not
Yes.
straight up purchase. And then that we're on, I think we'll be good there.
Well, we could budget probably rental payments. We can't budget 80,000 till next budget cycle.
Well, right,
Yeah.
but we can at least see what's out there though, we don't have to pull the trigger on nothing
Well, I
until.
mean, I can tell you what this is looking like, you're looking at about 2,500 a month.
I think James Franklin's done some stuff too.
I think put it out there and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
I think we got a motion.
All right, so we got a motion on the floor to go ahead and surplus this. The question's been called for. We now proceed to vote. All those in favor of surplusing the equipment that's listed in the motion, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. So we will surplus that equipment. We'll get it advertised. And then as far as getting bids on on another piece, I don't guess we have to take action tonight about inquiring, but if y'all would like the equipment committee to do some inquiries and bring back some.
Well, I mean, if you want me to go on and split it out the bid, we just go on and split it out the bid. And
I'm fine with that.
I mean, that way, that's the way we can find the prices and then.
I mean,
Yeah, but we don't have to accept anything.
That's right, so, but the sooner we put it out, the sooner we kinda know what we're looking at for later on.
Yeah.
All right, well, if y'all would,
Adding the language, for rent to own,
Yes.
or to the request on the 13th.
You should do 2 of them and just make 2 bids, rent to own, and 1 for purchasing outright.
Well, I mean, these rent to own, the company will purchase it out by the price on it. That's how this thing.
Everybody doesn't do that.
When you talk to them, when I talk to them, yeah, I talked to Case and John Deere already about it.
of course, they won't sell the machine. They know it's created.
So you're just saying put out 2 bids, 1 for all out buy and 1 for rent to buy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can do that. Then that way you're covered either way.
If y'all put it in motion, that's what we do.
Your rent to own purchase is gonna be higher than the purchase.
Yes.
outright, Just like if you're gonna go finance it.
Yes.
So we need a motion on that?
If y'all like to, it'll get done that way.
All right, I'll make a motion to, put out the bid spec for a new or a new used backhoe, written own option and a outright purchase price option.
All right, decked out like listed here.
Yes.
Second.
I already had a motion by Zach, seconded by Will, to bid, to request the bids for a backhoe 2021 model or newer, with a multi-purpose bucket, hydraulic front couplers, four-wheel drive, with a thumb and with powertrain warranty. One with a rent-to-own or a rental variable put in with bid, another one with outright cost, two different bids. All right, any discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. So we'll get that advertised and we'll get some bids and when we get them in, we'll talk bids. All right, next is a financial report, and bills and transfers.
Can, I bring up something before we,
Yes,
finish?
Yep.
On the animal shelter, okay, was over today, the contractor's got the underground electric and the building over to where the pole's gonna be set. Inspector's covered up, he's putting rock in there around the building where the outside kennels are gonna go, and he's ready for the concrete for that. Anyway, the electric, since we decided a couple meetings ago or whatever, to finish the back side of that building ourselves, which includes electrical. Right now, there's a 400 amp service coming into the office area. You're looking at the front of it, you're on the right-hand side. It's up, you say underground, it's in, but the electrician that's doing the animal shelter, that the bid, suggests that since we're gonna finish up the backside ourselves, that if our electrician tied into her box, it would void her warranty on her electricity, or her warranty on her job. So she suggested, the electrician, that she run a box, a 200 amp box back inside the new section. And that new section is gonna have to have 3 HVA systems and one 80-gallon water heater hooked to it. So it's gonna take most of that 200 amp for that. Now she is required to run a wire to the HVAC that's in the shelter now, it's in the rear, and for one 80-gallon water heater, because we added another 80-gallon water heater. So she's responsible for that. Now, I don't believe she's going to charge anything to run it back there for the sub panel, but Daniel may have to buy the panel and put it back in the back, okay? To do all the work, and that way, he said that, project said it would not void her warranty if we did it that way. So we need, since none of us has the authority, administrative authority to do anything outside this room, we need somebody to tell them that's okay to do, or if that's okay for us to do.
Well, I talked to Doug several times. We got the light pole all lined out, so that'll be coming. And then as far as that in the back, we gotta purchase some wire, we have to purchase a box, and then there'll be some labor hooking it up. And I guess the electrician, will be doing the labor. And I told Doug, I said, it can't be more than $1,500. $500 for wire, $500 for a box, $500 for labor. It should be cheaper than that.
Or 200 amp box, I think $230.
That's what I'm saying.
Box.
Right, so, and basically that, I told him to go ahead and get us a price. He never has given me a price. But
Call over Electric City.
But I'm guessing that, we don't know what she's gonna charge, the electrician. She
She
just,
talked to today, I'm not sure if she'll charge anything to run
Okay.
the water back there, because she's
Okay.
got to run two 20 amps back there.
You gotta run something back there
anyway, yeah.
HVAC anyway, so she,
I mean, all we need to do is put our panel up and she'll hook it up. Sounds
no,
like-
not she, no. Daniel will be doing more hooking up.
well, we
But
can
she's
get,
gonna run the main service wire from her panel to our panel, though, is what I'm saying.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
so
So we need to put a
can
panel up.
get the wire and we can get the panel. And then while she's there wiring, she'll stick it in there. Her warranty be good and we'll have the service back there.
How
that
do
we
you
need.
do it, but I mean,
Yeah, I'm fine with doing
You-
that.
you-
Yeah.
you're the one-
In fact, Doug and I have kinda already agreed to that. He was gonna give me a price.
what I'm saying is, you're the one.
Yes, I got it covered.
That has to do that, we
Yeah.
can't do that, because we don't have that power.
Right. Right, so, yeah, I think I got that covered, according to Doug. So, but I'll call him again tomorrow, and,
Okay,
if everyone's okay with that approach,
Yeah, and also,
go with that.
I'm sorry,
No, you're good.
on the pavilion, we still seem like we're in, stuck in the mud on it. We're not
No.
moving at all.
No.
Hagan's site plan, where we stand on that?
Need to bring it up, and we've been quite busy, but, I will say that Friday, I went to Frankfurt to Ag Development Board and pitched the request for the $300,000 for the farmer's market. Very, very favorable. They will meet again before Christmas and give the final approval, which that's $50,000 from the Spencer County Ag Development Fund and $250,000 for the State Ag Development Board Fund, which is a tobacco settlement money. They have a specific program just for farmers markets. And, that started in the year 2000. So, and the Taylorsville Farmers Market, Inc. was put together in around 2000. So they've been in existence for 25 years, going on 25 years. And they have never applied for any of the ag development funding. To my knowledge, I asked about it, and no one said that they had. So I think it's quite favorable that we will get that funding to go towards the cost of construction. They are expecting that we have something out front, again, it's permanent, a porch of some sort. They do want a room that they can lock stuff in, that has access from the outside. And then they will have use of the building on Saturday mornings, one day a week. But right now, when we met at the county board meeting, they said Saturday mornings. So for us but it's pretty easy for us to me, we have little things we have to agree to, and we'll get $300,000 to help pay for this. So I think that's a win. Now, what I came back Friday, and we talked in the office. We have a drawing, and I still love the drawing where we landed. But it doesn't really have the farmer's market with the porch drawn on it. So what I plan to do in the next, we're going to work on it, is get like 5 renderings of what something could look like in this facility, including the farmer's market portion. And again, I'm taking the request of the farmer's market people, which they wanted to hear that in Frankfurt. They all were smiles when I mentioned they came and they suggested, and we're going to try to incorporate it. So, but we will get, and another question they asked me, they said, you have 2 buildings. I was just talking about the front building to them. And they said, you have 2 buildings in this plan. And I said, well, our hope is to build those 2 buildings, but if we don't have the funds to get both buildings built, we would like to at least get the front building built. And they seem fine if that's all we do right now. And I was trying to keep the cost, I know we've had some debate about what all this is going to cost. So I'm trying to keep the cost at $1.5 million tops, and we would get 300, so it'd be $1.2 million that we would have invested to where we'd have this building. I still have hopes that we can do that from what Mr. White talked about the church out there and what that cost. So what I was going to do, and I welcome you all to take part in this also. If you have building companies, draw out a building, 80 by 100, 100 by 100, with some sort of porch on the front, with a room inside that will accommodate these folks. I don't know that a carpeted, I know, Jim, we talked about a carpeted floor, finished, where it'll be a lot more foot traffic with the farmer's market. We may just need the shiny concrete floor.
What were we talking about with the carpet, just in the office?
We were talking about finishing it inside.
Not with carpet.
Okay,
Polished concrete floor.
Yeah.
okay, if we've landed, that's what I think we need.
We got a long ways to go.
We
Don't worry
do.
about carpet.
We do, I agree with you, Will. But regardless, I was going to get with the company that we got a bid, that you had originally, you know, that built the North Point Church, Argos, or what,
Arco Steel Building.
Arco.
Actually, the one sales rep called me Friday from Georgia.
okay?
They sell steel building kits, is what they sell. They deliver it to Taylorsville for a price. We have to get a contractor to put them up. Doug White can do it, David Elder can do it, who's not here, you know him, David Elder. So I've already had the price on the two steel buildings that size, unfinished, of course, but with roof and everything, for $500,000 for both of them delivered on site. So,
Yeah, the time we get it delivered and time we get, you know, you guys, we poured 60,000 of concrete inside our salt barn. You know, the concrete inside this building will probably be 200.
a lot more now, but what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to bid it out and get a contractor, general contractor. And then, if we wanna go with the two Arco Steel buildings, tell them, or that company, say, this is what we want you to go with, you run with it and give us a price on it. We can't do it ourselves, we gotta have a contractor.
Well, we've gotta get bids, and I know we voted a ways back, long way back, to go ahead and advertise the bids, and we haven't done that yet. But when we did that, I don't believe it, at that time, it included the farmer's market. We wasn't as far along with the farmer's market as we are now, you know, getting the funds. So,
Again, and then, but the site plan, we gotta have the site plan
Yes.
before we can bid it out. So,
yeah,
Hagan said it's gonna take 2 months to do it. What's it been, 7 months, 8 months now already?
well,
I was on our behalf, not theirs.
Okay, but anyway, here we are. We don't
Right.
have a site plan.
Right.
So can we put some heat under them?
we need to, we've been a little busy with sewer stuff.
Yeah, well, we're
You
gonna be
know,
busy with that for the next 10 years.
forever, I know. But regardless, it's not dead, it's going, but again, we'll,
Okay, and then one more thing, the driveway between the Country Mart parking lot and the pavilion, the representative from AGC, the grocery company, wants to see something on paper so he can give it to his bosses to
yeah,
okay.
which Hagan will get that together for us.
Needs to do. He's waiting on that right now, so.
Okay, all right, well, we'll get,
I'm done.
yeah, we'll get after it, and, we'll go from there. It's not dead by no means. I know it appears very slow.
What's the old cliche the last court used?
I don't know.
Kicking the can down the road?
Oh, no, we ain't kicking it down the road.
We haven't heard that one for a while.
We're not kicking the can down the road, no, we're taking action, but it's,
Thank you.
building, setting around here is way different than, you know, building a chicken house at the farm. It's way different. But anyhow, good discussion. The next item on the agenda is, bills and making the transfers. I was looking at, Shelby County, Detention Center and the Nelson County adding up to about 49,000. I do want to make a statement. I asked down at the CAECO conference about, and I asked our jailer, and I think I talked to Andrew about it, if there were undocumented persons that had committed a felony or were in jail currently, and I don't think we have any here, and I couldn't get anyone to answer that we have very many in the whole state. But from watching television, I think next year there will be some that are incarcerated in this country that will probably leave America. And I want to make a statement that in Spencer County, this is not a good place to come. If you are undocumented and you're here, try not to get in trouble. There are many forms of documentation that a lot of folks use. Green cards, you have work visa status. That's two for an example. I think they have the DACA what are some other ways, Andrew? There's several ways that you can be here legally. But if you are a felon and you're here illegally, don't be coming to Spencer County and stirring up trouble. Because you will probably you're gonna leave here, and we will probably turn you over to ICE, and you will be out of here. And I think that's gonna be nationwide.
NICE generally monitors a lot of that. I don't know how they've been here recently, but I've made arrests as far as illegal immigrants, and ICE was usually fairly quick at picking them up and reporting them back. Now, how it is currently, I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the bottom line is just don't be coming to Spencer County raising a ruckus.
Raising a ruckus.
Got a better phrase?
That's a very political,
That's a what?
very politically correct, raising a ruckus.
Okay.
Jeff's, about 30 seconds for something.
Yes, yes, we do.
It's just informational.
You asking
Sorry,
for
they get on
money?
the agenda. But
You asking for money?
no. They probably coming, but no, not today. We're at 90% on our taxes. I know I told y'all a couple of months ago, it looked like our fee budget was gonna be over what we projected. And, we're currently at 755,277, so we're roughly about 75,000 over what we projected as far as collecting fees. I haven't pulled the recent numbers, but I checked it a week or two ago. I think we're at 6,000 plus runs or calls for service. We've done some additional search warrants here in the past, the last time we spoke. Can't really speak on them. We are hitting some houses, getting some dope, working some drug investigations. More will come out that in the future. We're still getting hit periodically with the vehicle break-ins. We had F-150 stolen last week. I think one of the residents reported the next day that their car had been gone through, but nothing stolen. That vehicle was recovered shortly after in Louisville. They had a GPS tracker on it, so that helped things along with that.
What subdivision was it taken by?
That was Kristen off of Delaware, is that right, Kristen?
Kristen Drive.
Kristen Drive off of Delaware.
And isn't it in Greer Estates?
Yep.
We're fixing to lose another employee. Hate losing, gonna be losing Barney Long. He's coming to finish paperwork. He's going to St. Matthews. Wish him very best. And there's no competition there as far as talking to him staying here from the $17 raise. So losing him to St. Matthews, I'm afraid that's going to be an ongoing issue. Not that we'll ever compete with that, but I think the issue is Metro and St. Matthews are getting pretty close in the dollar amount as far as pay. So now, like St. Matthews is going out to these rural counties where these officers can get big pay bumps by choosing to go with them. But I think I do have a replacement lined up here soon as far as for him. Flock is still doing great. We've had several ongoing investigations now that Flock has helped tremendously. And I got a nice, I didn't bring it about the last meeting, but y'all had a pretty lengthy meeting, so I didn't bring it up. But Kevin Stallings got a letter of commendation from Louisville Metro where he assisted them with just a missing adult, and I think he had a child or a teenager with him that was nonverbal autistic, and they were reported missing. And for whatever reason, that little Metro officer wasn't able to access Flock. And then once the attempt to locate was put out, Kevin got the Flock and was able to give them a play-by-play where they were traveling with that vehicle, and was able to get them to the hospital. So that was good to hear. Outside of that, we've been working a lot of grants, trying to improve equipment here, that sort of thing. We've reached out to AOC. We're looking to see, we got the answer for what we talked earlier in the week. I mentioned it, court security deputies. I think currently we're only at 4. We're only slotted for 4. So as far as being able to get the reimbursement.
So we're looking at trying to get that increase. Not that we couldn't hire additional, we can't have more than 4 working at one time to get the AOC reimbursement on. I guess it, let y'all get, finish up.
Thank you.
Just kind of an update.
All right.
One other thing, they're using your email for addition.
Yeah,
Well, that's what, yeah, I heard earlier.
yeah, I'm supposed to meet you in private later,
Yeah.
on that email.
I'll be there. Wherever it is.
Motion to pay the bills and make the transfer.
Second. All right, have a motion by Mike, seconded by Zach, to approve the bills and make the transfers. Any, pay the invoices, bills, and make the transfers. Any discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Corey, I don't think we have an executive session, so we entertain a motion to adjourn.
This month, but not this month.
Okay. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, have a motion by Zach, second by Dan. All those in favor say aye. Aye.